In this video of Bootstrap, we are going Now in this video, we are going to use buttons in a much different way. As we have already seen how to create a drop down using a button, how to use a single button. But now here we will work with the button groups. Basically, if you'll put number of buttons at a group, it menu, right? So if you want to create a menu in your web page, you can actually go for this button groups and you can set different actions for the different buttons in the group. So let's start working with the implementation of button groups. So as we have already discussed
it's being enclosed inside a box with such things. If you want to use some padding things as well, you can do that. Let's say 20 pixel is the padding. So now this is how you can start. So these are the different selectors that we worked on. That is the name selector, ID selector, and class selector. So that is all for this video.
In this particular video, we'll discuss about the background. In background, basically, when I talk about, you can pass the different colors in the different ways, which we have already learned in the previous video. Along with that, you can also pass the images in the different ways. Like sometimes you want to fix background, sometimes you want a movable background. As for your choice, you can pass the background image. So let's start practically what all we can do of designing CSS.
Now, in order to set the background here, let's first put the background for a paragraph. And for doing that, I'll put style attribute. I can do that here as well in the style, but for this, I'm going inline. So style is equal to background color. So background color, whatever you want, like let's say I'll pass yellow. So that will basically change the background color to yellow. Since I specified the background only for this paragraph, so only this much portion is being having a background yellow. But you can see like there is a sentence, and after that I have added 3 line breaks. That's why you are getting this much height. All right. Now, if I want to do the same thing for the complete document, I could have done this thing like I can just put this style attribute here in the body. Let's remove it from paragraph. All right. So you can see the complete document is now having a background yellow. Similarly, you can choose any color of your choice. And if you want, you can also put the image as a background. For doing that, what I'll say is background image colon. Here I'll have to pass the URL of the image, and inside this URL function, URL attribute here, I'll pass like is a folder in the same location where I have saved my web page, and inside that I have bg.jpg image. So you will pass the this is the same. Now, if you want, you can just make some image horizontally as well as vertically, since the size of the image is smaller than the screen size. So what I can just pass the semicolon and I can apply the attribute like background repeat. So if you will say repeat, that is the default value, means there will be no change. But if you'll say repeat x, only horizontal images will be repeated. As you can see here, vertically it's not getting repeated, since x denotes the horizontal and y for vertical. Now when you say repeat y, so there is no image right here on the right hand side, but it is repeated. And after that you can also say no repeat. That will just add this image once. You can also set the position of the background by passing the attribute background position to any particular value. So basically what it will do is, when here you refresh, it is taking the margin of 100 pixel from horizontal as well as from the vertical. By default it was getting started from this coordinate 0 comma 0, but now it is taking 100 pixel margin from the left and from the top. So let's come back to this one, and I will put some more line breaks here just to make my document much bigger. All right, so let's save it, let's refresh it. All right, let me just remove this first. Let me remove this background repeat as well. So this is my page, and here you can see the content going on. All right, now it's just line break, I haven't put anything else. But now there is one more thing, like if I will pass the attribute background attachment to fixed. So let's save it. Let's refresh it here. And now when I will scroll, you can see there is only content floating. All right. Let me put some content as well so that you can feel that. I'll put it somewhere in the middle so that you can see it scrolling. All right. All right. And here you can see only the content is floating here, but there is no change in the background. It is still. All right. So this is about the fixed background. So these are the things that you can put in your paragraph or in the background of your whole document, where you can put the colors or you can put the images in a different way.
Now we are going to discuss about the gradient color in this video. As in the previous video, we saw how to do the manipulations with the colors in terms of their opacity. Now here, what we will do, as the name says, it's gradient colors, means it's going to be gradient, means we will use multiple colors and one after another, those colors will come in a series and will give a very beautiful look in the output. So let's see what all options are available with CSS3 to make the set of colors as the gradient color.
So as far as the implementation of gradient color is concerned, here I have taken an ID selector with the name grad1 and later I am applying this to a div. Now let's see what all changes I have made inside this ID selector. So the first is the height. I wanted pixel height for this particular div. After that, you can see that there are number of background options to all. So pink and green. I have added a couple of colors out here. So let's see how the output will look like. And here you can see that this is the output, right? By default it is coming top to bottom, but if you want to change the direction, you can just add one more parameter, that is left, left, like from left to right. So I will add left in all the ones. All right, so now you can see starting from left it is going towards right. These are the couple of directions, like from top to down, from left to right. Similarly, you can give the styles for the diagonal gradient colors also. For that, you will have to tell a couple of direction, like left top, that is the starting position. All right. So let's see the browser output. Like here you can see red, blue. So left top, it is starting from red, and then diagonally it is changing its color, and at the last it is blue in color. All right. Since red and blue are the two colors out here. So these are left to right or from diagonal. Now let's see some available options for the radial, means this, if I want some circular in the gradient, let's see how those work. So for using height and width both for now, you can just continue with the height also as we were doing earlier. And now here you can see the difference, like red, green and pink. All right, since there are how much width you want in each color. So pink 60%, green 15%, 5 for red. All right. So let's see the output now. And here you can see. All right. So this is how the radial gradient will work. Starting from the last, means this is one is the inner one, then the outer and the outermost. All right. If you want, you can add more colors in the same method. You can also use the repetitive option for that. Like for example, if you have a couple of colors and you want them to keep repeating unless a particular time comes, you can do that as well. And how we can do that? Just by adding this repeating keyword. All right, so now the method is repeating radial gradient. Or so I'm just using a couple of colors like 10% for yellow, 15% for green, and after that, because it's just covering the it will keep repeating. All right, that's why I'm using repeating out here. All right, so let's see the output here. Now you can see, okay, so every time this green yellow green yellow green yellow is keep repeating itself. So this is how you can work with the different options available with css3 regarding the gradient colors, either it's for linear or radial.
using which we can look to our web page, and that is the images. Images, as I said, can give you a very Now we are going to discuss about the gradient color in this video. As in the previous video, we saw how to do the manipulations with the colors in terms of their opacity. Now here, what we will do, as the name says, it's gradient colors, means it's going to